Good afternoon. This is Wing Commander Srikanth, and hope all of you are safe and fine in this lockdown condition. As lockdown gets lifted and services get restored, there is a lot of activity that we as facility management professionals and CRE professionals that we need to do to get back, get the office going and ensure that people return to work and ensure safety of people. Now, at the outset, I would want to thank WhistleDrive for this opportunity, a fantastic startup who has chosen me to give this video out. Basically, on points that what would be the changed facility management environment post-COVID, what would be the changed transportation modalities post-COVID, and overall the industry per se. With this as a background, I would want to say there are companies which say 75 to 80% of their employees would work from home from now onwards, and there is a company with a very senior business leader who said that continuous work from home will create mental ill problems. You look at it, there is an end-to-end continuum of it, but where is the reality is somewhere in the middle. What this middle is when do you want to come to office, and is your office safe? Now, what is office? When person leaves his house till the time he returns back to his house on official work is office. That means the moment he or she steps out, the employment starts, his office work starts. That means we have as for FM professionals, we have a lot of things to do in terms of safety. We all work with the tagline creating delightful workplace experience, but one word gets added there called creating safe and delightful workplace experience. Now, WhistleDrive being a transportation company, I'll pitch this talk solely to transport. There are a lot of other things that we can do in the 7 verticals of admin that is there, but transportation being an enormous cost to a company, most likely one below real estate itself. I think there is a lot of optimization we can do. In any company, there is about 30% of the population does use company transport. What happens to the remaining 70%? Let's assume that remaining 70% is the 100%, and let's assume 30% of that come in their own vehicles. What happens to the remaining 70%? They use public transport, they use Olas or Ubers, they use metros, they use city buses, they use shared transportation. There is a big opportunity for digital transport service providers at park level. In any of the business parks in India, the business park does not own employee transportation, and there is a major opportunity. The companies can only do so much. Police will say you can travel 2 per car or 1 per two-wheeler, all that. But there is a cost to everything. And it is, in this day and age, it is almost touching 10,000 rupees. Do you really want to do that? Why not do park level? Let's say a builder takes up for the 200 odd companies that are there in this business park. If he starts an employee shared services, mobility services, where all associates who want to use that service, you ensure social distancing, ensure cleanliness, ensure hygiene, sanitation, the works. But the vehicle, if it is a 32-seater bus, you can let him have 1 per seat or whatever it is, and then the supply comes from the builder and the vehicle service providers. The demand comes from the associates. There is an automatic churn, the routes are getting created, and the same way that a company does, the park can own it. I understand that many parks do not want to do this because of the additional effort and money and effort involved in this. But there is a big opportunity. Even if the park doesn't own it, a service provider itself can own it and can start employee shared transportation services for all the companies within the park. Just possibly the builder might have to sign off that these are the two partners whom we will work, and it might really work. And within this gamut, employee transportation, you will find a lot more employees using shared transportation, and the after effects will be reduction of vehicles on road, reduction of people on the road. You can say that there would be a lot of carbon emission reduction, and happiness to society, of course. And there is a lot of you will employee stress in terms of coming and going into it. It really takes about an hour in any class A city to commute. That besides about that being the point about transportation, in the FM domain itself, we all talk about human emotion. Now, what is the happiness that are you really happy to come to office? In today's environment, again, I would say the motto of any company, I will not tell an associate that from tomorrow you will come to office. The associate should feel that he or she should come to office because the office is safe. That reassurance we would be able to give. In this, when will this come? When this will come only when you have a extremely robust environmental health and safety, and consider that supreme. Right from the point the associate leaves his house, how safe are you able to bring him, ensure that he or she works in a safe atmosphere, ensure the same level of delightful experience, give him your pantry services, your food, your washrooms, your soft services, housekeeping, workstation management, employee transportation, transport bay management, social distancing, cleanliness, sanitization, and then safe commute and drop off. And this is not easy, and this is not going to come with this is not going to come with this is going to come with a lot of caveats, and the responsibility on the administration is going to be much more in the post-COVID world. And with this, I think a fair amount has been covered. I would like to sign off and stay home, stay safe, and slowly as the lockdown gets lifted, calibrate your return to office in a manner that in line with the government's expectations, and ensure that all your associates are safe. And all the best. God bless.